Hey guys, this is Justin at the Survivor Review. Today we're talking about a movie that I've been really looking forward to, one that I wanted to see when it was initially released last month, to see if it would make my top 10 best of 2016 list, but unfortunately I wasn't able to since it just got a wide release this month, and I finally saw it. I am talking about the newest film by Martin Scorsese, Silence. Now, if anybody knows me, this sounds like the last kind of movie I'd be excited for, since the plot of this movie takes place back in the 16th century and follows these two Jesuit priests whose mentor, Father Ferreira, went missing in Japan while spreading the Christian word out there, and has been missing for some time, and the only word they've heard back from him is that he has denounced the Christian religion in public. And they don't believe that. And so they traveled to Japan to figure out what really happened. Did he really denounce the Christian faith, or is he even still alive? But the problem is, Japan has outlawed the Christian religion. So they are hiding out in these villages who believe in Christianity and believe in that faith, and so they are in the process of helping them out and being priests for them, while trying to find Father Ferreira and figure out what's going on, and hide from the Japanese government and everybody who will, if they find them, torture them or execute them for their religion. Now, if anybody knows me, or even the people who've been watching this channel, know that that sounds like the last kind of movie I'd want to see or even talk about here on this channel. But the reason why I wanted to see it is Martin Scorsese. Now, Scorsese is my favorite director alive today, since my actual favorite director of all time is Alfred Hitchcock. But when it comes to directors who are still making movies now, Scorsese's my number one. I love everything I've seen of his. Granted, I still have not seen every movie he's done. I want to change that soon. But that being said, at least out of the ones I've seen, Silence is one of his best. This movie is amazing. It is such a great film. I wish I had seen it last year so I could put it on my list, so it definitely would be up there, high up there on my list. I'm not sure where I'd rank it, but it'd definitely be one of my favorite movies of 2016 if I had saw it then. But this movie is just relentless and gut-wrenching at times. It is such a well-directed film. This isn't a typical fast-paced, fun Scorsese film like Goodfellas or Wolf of Wall Street, where it has like the kinetic energy and everything. It's one of his more grander, epic films. It moves at its own pace. It's not like a fast-paced kinetic energy movie. It's not slow. Like, I was engaged the whole way through, but this movie is a grueling experience. It's not fun, it's not joyful, and it's not supposed to be. It's just this very serious story about these two priests stuck in Japan trying to find their master, and it gets intense at times, just with them having to hide from authorities and everything. It's brilliantly acted. The acting in this movie was great. Andrew Garfield, man, 2016 was his year. First half Hacksaw Ridge, which I thought he was great in, but I'm surprised to say his performance in Silence blows Hacksaw Ridge out of the water. I thought he was incredible in the movie. It really is his journey throughout the film. He is the main character, even though he also goes on this journey with the other priest played by Adam Driver, who also does a great friggin' job in this movie. He's another great part of this. It really is Andrew Garfield's story. He is the main character through and through. And then you have Liam Neeson as Father Ferreira, who is a small role. He doesn't appear a whole lot in the film, because the whole movie is just a mystery of trying to find him. And he was great as well. It's great seeing Liam Neeson have to actually act instead of just doing a paycheck movie, which is what a lot of his recent films have been. This is not one of those. From the first scene in the movie where you see him in this just disheveled shape, just very skinny, and everything just looking sickly, which is just crazy, just to his performance at the end where you can actually find out what happened to his character. It's very well done and very well handled and just very conflicting. There's a lot of great conflicting things in this movie. This movie is a religious film, but it's not a kind of religious film that hits you over the head with it. It doesn't tell you what to believe. It's not one of those kind of movies where it's saying like, oh, what you believe is wrong, what you're doing is wrong, this is right. It's not one of those. It's about a character just struggling to keep his faith in such a place where his faith is not allowed, and just trying to keep that going. The title Silence actually really comes into play in this movie a lot. It actually has a lot of meaning to it once you actually watch the film, and it has a lot to do with religion and everything. Basically every scene in this movie has people mentioning religion or God or Jesus and Christianity. It happens in basically every scene. It still is, you're able to watch it even if you don't care about this stuff, even if you don't believe in it. I'm not religious at all, and I found this movie to be still very compelling, very interesting, even though it delves into a lot of that. That doesn't matter. You can still watch this movie no matter what you believe in. It's still an amazingly well-told story that you can just be engaged no matter what. It's so well done. This movie is beautifully shot. This is one of Scorsese's best looking films. Might even be his best. Just the way it's shot, visually it's incredible. It's worth seeing on the big screen if you can. I know it's not playing in too many theaters. Like my local movie theaters got this last week, and already this week, its second week, they're already cutting down on showtimes. So it probably won't be playing for too long, but if you have the opportunity to see this in theaters, it is worth seeing on the big screen. And yeah, this movie is long. It's 2 hours and 41 minutes, and it's not a big action movie, so of course there's going to be just a lot of people talking the entire time, but it doesn't feel its length. I was engrossed this entire time. From the way the movie looked from the trailers, it looked like one of those movies that might have some slow, dull moments throughout. There was no dull moments throughout this entire film. I was engrossed from beginning to end, and it never felt like overly long or like it was going on for too long. It flowed so well. The best movie to compare this to is Apocalypse Now, which is just an experience about this main character sent into madness. That's what this movie feels like. It feels like an experience. This doesn't feel like just a regular old film. It felt like you were following these characters in this journey throughout the entire thing, and you were just on the edge of your seat the entire time, just like not wanting them to get caught and just like hoping that they succeed and nothing bad happens, although you know a lot of bad stuff is going to happen. This movie can get very just like grueling at times with its depiction of torture and people getting killed. It doesn't go over the top. It doesn't go like gory and over the top like that, but it does in a very realistic way that can get unsettling at times and just gets under your skin. Like there's times where I'm just like, oh god, no, and like I was really invested in all these characters. Not just the main ones, played by Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver, but even the supporting characters. There's a lot of characters, Japanese characters throughout the movie, like the village that they first go into, and there's the main priest in that village. I like that guy. I really wanted to see things go well for them, and I like those characters. And even one of the best characters in the movie is the Inquisitor, the main kind of villain, as you would say, of the film. I love his performance. Like when you first see him, he's a little weird and a little silly, but it works. It just adds to the character and adds to just the weirdness of them being stuck in the situation that I thought was so well done. Or even the translator. There's a translator character who's by Andrew Garfield's side for like the whole last half of the film. I really liked him. I liked his character. So I was just invested in every character, and every time something bad happened to a character, I was just like, oh no. I was either in shock or just like, oh. Just emotionally invested, which is great. And one of the things that makes this movie also feel more like an experience than just a film is that it has little to no actual music score. I honestly don't recall there ever being a music score at all in the film. There might have been moments with music, but the only real score throughout the film is just silence, just the sound of the forest or sounds of crickets. That's how the movie opens, really. And that's really the whole score for the film. So whenever there's like intense like dialogue scenes happening, there's no music. It's just letting it play out, and that actually helps make it more intense and more engaging, because you just felt like you were watching actual events play out. You didn't really feel like you were watching a movie scene. So yeah, just this movie was incredible. Like, I loved it. I thought it was so great. Definitely worth checking out. If you're a Scorsese fan, this is definitely, you have to see this one. It's very well done. And just a film fan in general. Again, this movie is not, I don't feel like everybody's going to like this movie. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to come out of this movie either hating it or loving it, because it's one of those kind of films where you might just really like it. You might find it to be this very great experience. Not great as in a good thing, because again, this movie is very serious and really has like no moments of levity throughout. There's little bits here and there, there's tiny little comedic bits here and there, but aside from that, there's like no moment of levity for all 2 hours and 40 minutes of this film. But I can easily see people hating this and not liking it. Again, it is a religious film, but it doesn't force you to like pick a religion or anything. But it is very thought-provoking and really makes you think about a lot of stuff, especially stuff with Liam Neeson's character. It just makes you really think, and even if you are religious, it'll make you think about your religion and all that stuff. It's very well handled. So, out of 10, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. If I have to find one flaw with the film, it's a very minor one. It's near the third act of the movie. I don't want to go into why, really explain why, just due to spoilers, but we do get a new narrator near the last half of the movie, and I don't know, I just felt that was kind of, maybe that's how it is in the book, but I just felt it was done as a way to kind of convey all this information they needed to convey in the last act without having it go on for like 30 or 40 more minutes. You know, without having us have to see everything. It just felt like this was kind of a way to kind of condense information they needed to give to us at the last half of the movie. And so introducing this new narrator felt kind of jarring to me. And I was like, oh, okay. It just seemed weird that we spent the entire movie without that other narrator. Now, there's a new narrator at the end. That's like my one kind of flaw with the film, honestly. I couldn't find any other real issues. Just overall, just a great film. Just incredible movie. Just amazing. One of the most well-shot movies I've seen in a while. It looks incredible. It's visually amazing. It's just, again, a very grueling experience. Just great film. I really hope this movie gets award recognition, since it really deserves it. I know it got completely shut out for the Golden Globes, and that was kind of shocking for that, but I hope it gets Oscar recognition, because this movie has like little to like no buzz going for it, and that's really sad, because this is an incredible film. And you might just think, oh well, it's Scorsese. Yeah, of course it's gonna be great. Does it really need to be a big deal about Scorsese making a new movie? He always makes great movies. Yes, you do, because this one's very different from a lot of his stuff, and just I love the range of him as a director, especially as of late. Like, this was his follow-up to Wolf of Wall Street, which was a big, crazy, wild, excessive, fun movie, and that was his follow-up to Hugo, a children's film. These just 3 films in a row just show so much range for him, and I know this was a passion project for him. He's been trying to get this movie made for decades, and I'm glad he finally did, because it was definitely worth it. So yeah, that's Martin Scorsese's Silence. Just really great film, definitely worth seeing. And that's about it for now, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.